Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lounging with Zoe, the video series that has Zoe lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I just thought after my last video, I would just show a little bit of nature and show my little Liga Chog, my little kitty cat. Of course, I'm going to burst into some other things as well. Like how, there's my foot. The echo chamber has already begun. I actually listened to a progressive show after Thom Hartmann. The guest on there literally said, first of all, the host said, I really don't know anything about the Seth Rich thing at all. Do you? To which the guest replied, really, it kind of went in one eye and out the other when it came out, but it's totally bogus. So, in other words, she's saying she knows nothing about it. It went in one eye and out the other, but it's bogus. This is what the world has come to. This is the havoc that is wreaked. I'm sure. I'm very dramatic. When we must defend the Clintons or the Democratic Establishment Party. You know, I'm going to say something now that might lose me some subscribers, but it's a chance I'm willing to take. I think, and I've thought for a very long time, going back in history, that the Democratic Party has always been extremely filthy. But the Republican Party, okay, let me try to word this so that I might not lose subscribers, because I do enjoy having you with me. The Democratic inner workings of the machinery of the party, okay, not necessarily all the politicians, but a lot of them, are bad to the bone, dirty. This goes clear back to, oh my God, 1,000 years ago. Which party dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? Which party, and Nagasaki, which party really was the party for slavery? You know, all this stuff, okay? We have to embrace that, accept it, ask for forgiveness and move along. I don't, because I'm not really a Democrat, only on paper for Bernie Sanders. As I've told you, oh God, she's going to leave. You can't leave, Zoe. You're the center of my life. Okay, so their inter-party workings are terrible. One more example is the FDR vice presidential election or nomination in the 1944. Hold on 1 minute. I think I'm getting bitten by something and I have to... Okay. Where they really ushered Truman in when he only had 3% support. They rigged the convention so that Henry Wallace, would not be continuing on as vice president. He was very much a peacenik. He was a very decent person. He wouldn't have dropped the bombs. He was a mensch. Okay, I'm just going to say it. A total mensch. But we can't have that now, can we? We got to do dirty dealings behind the scenes and just stop him dead in his tracks. Okay, then we move to the Republicans. And I have to say, just from what I can gather, and I used to be a registered Republican, actually, their policies are hideous. Their actual candidates are kind of filthy and owned by the oil companies and all that stuff. But I think their party, the actual inner workings of their party, doesn't seem quite as corrupt to me. Now, I could be completely wrong, and, you know, I invite your comments in the section below here, ladies and gentlemen. No ad hominem attacks, please. Zoe is very sensitive about her looks. So, you know, take me to task if you want to. I'm just saying, for example, remember how a lot of the Republicans were totally against Donald Trump and this, that, and the other thing, but when it came right down to it, they didn't try to rig anything against him. They didn't try to have super delegates. They're the party that does not have super delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I think their primaries are a little different. Sometimes they do the splitting. If I'm not mistaken, and somebody who's Republican, let me know. In their primaries, don't they split some of the delegates up in some way? Whatever. Bottom line is, Republican policies are hideous, terrible, and awful. The actual party doesn't seem as corrupt to me as the long history of the Democratic shenanigans. Whereas if you have a decent Democrat, at least they pretend to care about the people. But as I've said before, you know, actions speak louder than words. And it's a shame that people have to leave. It's a shame that somebody like Bernie Sanders had to leave behind his independent, because he's an independent. There's another gentleman who's also independent whose name has escaped me. But it's a shame that he had to kind of get rid of that in order to jump on one of these filthy parties to get anywhere. But, you know, that's the way they want it. The Democrats don't want open primaries. They don't want an independent to be able to vote in the state of Pennsylvania. They're hanging on to their superdelegates, ladies and gentlemen. Not only that, but they are also still accepting corporate money. All of this was discussed when they ushered in the new era of the DNC and all this jazz and did their rules and stuff, which, you know, meet the new boss, same as the old boss, because Keith Ellison was, and say what you want, I'm sure people disagree with him on certain things, and that's fine. But Keith Ellison, who's a member of the Progressive Caucus, was really doing super well and was on his way to be the head of the DNC. And Obama and his cronies and Hillary, they couldn't take it. They couldn't take it. They had to usher in, I guess usher in is my new phrase of the day, Tom Perez. Is that his name? Perez. Oh, he just had to be the one. He, you know, let's bring him in, the corporate tool that he is. Oh, and of course we had all these allegations of Keith Ellison just being such an anti-Semite. Who was that sniveling idiot that screamed about him? Oh God, what the hell's his name? I don't know why his name escapes me all the time. He's a big old Zionist. Democratic Zionist, like they all aren't. But, Alan Dershowitz, is that right? Or is he a lawyer? I forget who it was, but whoever, I think it was Dershowitz, correct me if I'm wrong. He just exploded. I saw him interviewed on some corporate media clips. If he's ushered, there's the ushered in again, I'm going to stop it right now. If he becomes the head of the DNC, speaking of Ellison, I'm going to quit the party. I'm absolutely out of here. He's an anti-Semite because he supports the Palestinians and is against the apartheid regime of Israel. That makes you an anti-Semite. Give me an effing break. So, yeah, I think his name's Dershowitz. He's a big old pain in the ass, and he's like 102 years old. It's like, go ahead and leave the party. You're hideous. Who needs you? All right, I'm done. I'm going to calm down and pull myself together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lounging with Lisa. The video series and has me lounging while coming at you thoughts of the day, or actually has Zoe lounging. Please join together with Zoe and drop your political identity. She'd like you to focus on issues in order to make this world a better place, and she's really concerned about money going to the Humane Society because it's one of her charities. Sign off, Zoe. Bye. That was Zoe. Okay, bye-bye now.